Hello my friends, this is Splish and today we're getting out in space and we're checking out an upcoming tactical shooter that is taking place in zero gravity, and the name of the game is Boundary. And right now when I'm doing this video, you can go to the Steam page if you're playing on PC and download the Boundary demo for free. And again, the planned release is this year in 2022. I don't know exactly when. What I do know though is that the game is made by a developer called Studio Surgical Scalpels, and the publisher is Skystone Games Inc. and Huya Games. So what can you expect when you're getting into this demo, this multiplayer game? Well, you can expect a tactical space-based shooter game apparently, where you engage team versus team in zero gravity firefight and executing low gravity operations on orbiting space installations against other enemy astroperators and other entities. I don't know these other entities, I haven't really seen or understood what that is so far, but hey, this is a demo, which means that it's kind of a limited kind of content right now, which makes sense, definitely. But it's enough to give you a kind of feel of the game. And I gotta say, you will need to take some time actually to play. I would say I played a few hours and it took like half an hour to get into the controls pretty fairly, meaning you will be able to fly better. And I think the controls when it comes to actually flying and operating these astroperators, as they're called, works pretty well in the game. When it comes to the shooting, I think it's okay, but I have to say that I had some problems due to the fact that I was apparently, when I checked the ping, I had everything between 155 up to 220 ping, which is very high. So apparently I was playing on either like Asian or an US server, so that was a thing, and yeah. I think you know what that means when it comes to performance. So I can't really tell how good the hit detection is or stuff like that. It was fairly good, but probably it could be even better. But hey, this game is developed by a small studio. I think they have been around 14 people, if I read it correct, something like that. And I have covered games that have kind of same kind of size of studios before, and it kind of always impresses me when you get this far with the game. It looks really good, which is of course due also to the fact that they're using the Unreal Engine 4. The Unreal Engine is, by the way, one of my favorite graphics engines of all time, and later on this year we will also see games coming out using the Unreal Engine 5. I'm thinking for example about Stalker 2 later on. But back to Boundary and the demo, and if you are playing it, let me know what you think in the comments or just by watching the video if it's something you would like to try out yourself. I will put a link in the description if you want to go directly to Steam and download it yourself and play it. The clips you're watching here when it comes to the gameplay is of course when I started to play the game, but also further on. I think in the beginning I had actually a few hours behind me playing the game, so I was both better when it comes to actually flying, steering, and also of course shooting overall in the game. You start to get the hang of it. So when you get into the game, have some patience before you start to understand how to fly and how to patch your suit and when to use your, as you've seen, you have like a rocket launcher on some of the classes or one class, and then you have like an EMP and things like that that definitely will help you out when it comes to improving your gameplay and of course also having more fun playing the game overall. I also hope that they will add more variation when it comes to more game modes and maps of course later on. I'm thinking about the fact that it can be quite tiresome after some time, even though it's fun to fly around like this and shoot people, if don't get me wrong, that's cool. But I'm thinking about maybe something like a space station, so you actually also have a game mode and at least one or two maps that you also play like almost boots on the ground, meaning gravity. That could be a fun variation, just saying. But overall, once again, the whole concept of this is quite unique in a way. It's kind of interesting to think about it, and that not more game developers have been thinking about this or made game like this. I'm thinking about campaigns in other games, for example, Call of Duty. I think it was, what game was that? Infinite Warfare maybe, when you were in space playing, correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, not really like as a multiplayer. So this is definitely something to check out if you like the combination of space, a good looking game, and also of course shooter games. This is definitely the sniper clips I was talking about. As you can see, it's quite a big gun. It covers almost half of the screen. And you have to get used to it and how to line up your shots here in space. to actually get the one-shot kill as well, but I started to get it. I started to get the hang of it, and it was quite fun actually. As you may know, if you watched other videos on my channel, I really like to play as a sniper. I very often do that in most shooter games, so I will definitely play some more as a sniper here out in space. I've also been reading threads when it comes to the overall situation as a game developer. For example, in China, if I understood it right, you know, there's a big company, I think you've heard about it, called Tencent Games. And a lot of young developers are striving to get into that studio, and they have huge ambitions of making games and so forth. And maybe that they sometimes then get disappointed because they have a kind of business model and they're looking into certain games that they want to do. And therefore, some of these guys later on, you know, leave the studio and start up their own studio, an independent studio. And I'm not sure if that's the case when it comes to these guys. But I could imagine that it could be. I'm just speculating here, and I'm thinking about the fact that it's not unique in any way. It happens in other countries. I think I mentioned that I live in Sweden, and in Sweden one of the biggest gaming studios is DICE, that are making the Battlefield games. And it's of course a lot of guys that through the years have also left DICE, not because they don't like to work there, but they get their own ideas. And I mean, EA and their agenda is of course to make huge AAA shooter titles such as Battlefield, and therefore they break out from this main studio and create their own in order to make whatever they want to do. And that is the indie game scene, and it's very important when it comes to game development overall, I would say. And that's also why a game like Boundary is important in many ways, and I hope therefore you take your time to check it out, maybe leave some feedback also. That's usually appreciated by the devs and everything, because remember, this is also their first game. I went onto their Facebook reading that, and also that they are focusing on making kick-ass shooter games, so I hope they're gonna succeed. I wish them all the best, and I will definitely keep playing this now and then. I will also see what they come up with for the future, if they add some more content also during this like demo phase, and also later on when the full game will be released. I will maybe cover it later on also on my channel, so let me know again what you think. Is this a game for the future? Well, it definitely takes place in an important part of the future, meaning space. Are there any downsides that I've found playing the demo? Well, I mentioned that I was playing on high ping due to the servers. I hope that when this game will be fully released, that we will also see servers in Europe and everything. Playing on this high ping is not optimal for anyone, especially when we're talking about a shooter game and a tactical shooter game. So that needs to be there. When it comes to the overall impression, as I said, the whole kind of setting is really nice. You can see the light from the sun, and you have this like orbital space station, and you're fighting around it and inside it, almost flying through the debris sometimes that comes from things flying around in space. I don't know whether this game's gonna be free to play or if you have to pay for it. If it's gonna be free to play, maybe they have, you know, thought about a paid model inside the game. You know what I'm talking about. It's so there when it comes to modern shooters, especially free to play shooter. It might be something like camos or skins. I don't know how you put skins on astroperators, but apparently you can do that as well. I saw some already when I was playing, some bling bling suits and stuff. But yeah, it could be there definitely. I hope it's not going to do anything when it comes to balance and stuff in the game. We also touched base about that before. If it's cosmetic, I'm okay with that. It's just something in games nowadays, and I guess you just have to live with that. And of course they have to make money out of something, spending all these hours developing a game like this. But feel free to fill in there if you know something more than I do, whether it's going to be free to play or a paid game overall. When I'm in the menu, I've been checking out the patches a bit, and I see that they are also been taking care of things like disconnection and lost connection. It's apparently been a thing here. It happened for me like a few times, but it didn't mean that the game crashed or that I had to restart the game. I just saw that it said lost connection and then it was connected again, so I guess they're working on this. They are definitely aware of it. Now you might start to wonder, well, can I play the demo? I have this laptop and these kind of specs. Well, when I check the system requirements, and I'm going for the minimum now, so you know, you need Windows 10 64-bit, you need a Intel Core i5-4430 or an AMD FX 6300 processor, 8 GB of RAM, NVIDIA GeForce 1060 6 GB, and of course also 30 GB of available space. So it does take some space when it comes to this demo as well. So now you know, And if you can, I would love to hear from you, as mentioned before, what you think about the game if you try it out. And foremost, thanks also for watching this video. I appreciate your support. If you want to leave a like on the video, if you enjoyed, that really helps me out in the YouTube algorithm. And of course, also if you enjoy this kind of content when it comes to shooter games, tactical shooters, indie, AAA, make sure to hit that subscribe button because I try to play a variety of those kind of games. Have a beautiful day and thanks for watching once again, and take care, my friends. Later.